so today I'm here to talk about the books I read in the month of May. May was definitely a quieter month of reading for me because I only actually got through 5 books and 3 of them for physical and 2 of them audiobooks. So really I didn't read that much, and that's just because I felt like really slumpy. But then I did the Because We Can Readathon and that got me reading a bit more, but I still only managed to read 5. It's annoying, but all I can really do is just look towards the future and just hope I can get some more reading done in the next couple of months. But anyway, let's get into this wrap up. So the first book I read was After I Do by Taylor Jenkins Reid. So I had this book for so long and I'm so glad that I finally read it. I know I've mentioned this a lot, but I'm still really happy that I've read 5 out of the 6 of her books that I own. Taylor Jenkins Reid is definitely one of my favorite authors though, because everything she writes is just so amazing. And honestly, all of these books have hit me in the gut with how sad they are, yet happy. It's so weird. Like, she writes such intriguing storylines and I don't even know how she does it. This book is about Lauren and Ryan, and they've been married for many years and together for many more than that. But they've hit the breaking point in their marriage and they don't know if they want to stay together anymore. So they come up with this unconventional plan where they're going to take a year off from their marriage, and the only rule that they have is that they cannot contact each other. So anything will go during this year as just to have some time apart from each other to see if they can fall in love again. And I really did enjoy this book. Like, it is a lot slower because it's really about the whole idea of just being apart from the person you love. There's not really new romance here, it's an old romance. And I love the fact that this book had such a high standard of like family values as well, because her brother and sister are the most important thing to her in this book, and really it's the main storyline is just family. And even though it is a very intriguing plot line with the whole taking a year off and, you know, you can sleep with other people, you can do anything you want, you can spend money, you can finally live the life that you want to live, it's still the idea of, you know, are you always going to want your significant other or not? And it was just really cool, and I highly recommend this book. The next book I read was Rebel Belle by Rachel Hawkins. So this is the book I've had for ages and I'm so glad that I finally did pick it up. And like, I liked it. I think I gave it 3 stars because I feel this is a book I would have loved so much more when I was a lot younger. This is the type of school drama story I really did enjoy, and I still like them now, just not as much because I'm not in school anymore, and all this drama I'm kind of like a bit over, I guess, because I'm a bit older, which is not a bad thing. So I still enjoyed it. Harper is really like the queen bee without being a total bitch though, which is a weird concept for books really, because mainly if you're the popular girl of the school you hate everyone, but she's popular and she does so much work and she has so many extracurricular activities and everyone knows who she is, and she's like homecoming queen and everything, and like that is so much effort. I don't even know how she coped. Basically she's at the homecoming dance and she's going to be crowned queen and everything, and then she has this run-in where she gets these special powers and she becomes this guardian and she has to protect someone, and the person that she has to protect is David, who is another student at the school who she absolutely hates and he absolutely hates her, and they have hated each other since they were little, so now they have to spend all this time together, and then obviously like romance blooms because it's a trope that happens in every book ever. But I did enjoy it, and I like the idea of the powers and everything, and how it's like, you know, her life seems so normal but now she's got like super strength and speed and crap like that. And I'm intrigued to see where it's going to go though, because the way it ended I was a bit shocked about, but like I want to know what is going to happen. But I've heard very bad things about the second book, so like I don't know what I want to do, but I'm glad I finally got to this book. The next book I read was my first audio, and that was Technically You Started It by Lana Wood Johnson. I gave this one 4 stars, and it was a really quick and easy audiobook, being only 5 hours. The main character's name is Taylor, I think, because I don't have any info on me right now. She gets texted by Martin Nathaniel Monroe II, and there is 2 of them, which is a story that you get told in the book, but there's 2 of them, and she gets texted by one of them about a school project, and then they start talking. But the whole premise of the book is she gets texted by one of the Martins, and she thinks she's talking to the good one, not the bad one, but she's actually talking to the bad one, and it's very confusing, and I'm really not good with the synopsis. Haley, her name is Haley, not Taylor. Her name is Haley. So basically they start texting each other and they come / internet friends, but that's the thing is like she doesn't know who she's actually talking to, and he doesn't know that she doesn't know, but then he does discover because he starts to like hang out with her more, but then she doesn't actually know it's him, and like it got all over the place. But basically this whole book is only like a text exchange, so you don't get any descriptions or anything, and just their messages. But it gets like really deep, and it's really cool too because they have demisexual rep in this book, and they also have bisexual rep in this book, and they delve in it in a really nice way, and it's really interesting the way that they talk about it. And because they're so young, they're still discovering who they actually are. This book was just really good, and it's so short and easy to read, and I highly recommend it. And it was just really, really fun, and I just felt like I was sitting in on a conversation more than like actually having a story read to me. So I really did enjoy this one, and I would love more people to read it. Then I finally finished reading Replica by Lauren Oliver, and I feel like I've been reading this book for so long. This was actually my April book of the month pick, and I read it in May, and Rebel Belle was the May pick, so I'm on schedule again, but I got way behind trying to get this one done. And this book is really interesting because you actually have two perspectives in the one book, because you have Lyra's perspective at this end, then you have Gemma's perspective at this end, and it does say two girls, two stories, one epic novels. And there's obviously three ways you can read it, so obviously Lyra then Gemma, or Gemma then Lyra, or one chapter of Lyra, one chapter of Gemma. So I actually did start with Lyra's story, but then I stopped because of the readathon. So then when I came and read Gemma's story afterwards, it felt like I was kind of reading two books, which was kind of cool. But basically this book is about the Haven Institute, where inside they breed clones to see if they like live in certain situations, and like they seem to always get sick a lot of the time, and a lot of them don't make it. And Lyra is one of the clones, so she's lived her whole life in this institute, and she's in one of the first batches of kids and everything. It's basically like she's in jail. Like she can walk around and do stuff, but they're on this like secluded island, and one day the whole place gets blown up, and then she escapes with a boy like number 72. So she gave herself the name Lyra, but then he doesn't have a name, so they get out and they're on the run, and that's when she meets Gemma. And basically with Gemma's story, she's grown up in and out of hospitals, and then she starts to find out some weird stuff, and then when someone tries to kidnap her at a petrol station, she goes in and researches. Basically she finds out about Haven, which is in the blurb of the book, so I'm not like actually spoiling it. So she basically drives out to Florida to go find out what's happening, and then the institute blows up, and then she turns up and she finds Lyra in 72. So it's like about their different stories, about how they meet up, but it's basically about clones, and they're called replicas. And like I really thought it was going to be like more supernaturally though, but it seems pretty normal because they're just people, you know. Like I thought it was going to be like way cooler, and I did end up enjoying it, and I liked having the different perspectives because you really got to see the shared conversations of different opinions, which is really good. When you'd read from Lyra's side of the story, it would feel so different from when you read from Gemma's, and it was just really cool. I did find it was kind of a weird book, but I'm still intrigued enough to continue on. And the last book I read was the other audiobook, and that was If I Never Met You by Mahari McFarlane. So this was one of my anticipated reads, and I did ended up really enjoying this book. It was really fun. Basically Laurie's our main character, and she has been with the same boyfriend for 18 years, and he was her first boyfriend, and then out of the blue he just breaks up with her because he's scared to be a father, and he doesn't want to be with her anymore, and he feels like his life's been mapped out till his death. So he breaks up with her, but next thing you know he's pregnant with his new girlfriend, and this happens in like no time at all. And Laurie, obviously already very upset, is upset about the fact that they have to work together, and there's going to be a rumor mill of you broke up and then there's a new girl and all this stuff happening, and it's very, very bad. Then you have Jamie, who is the other main character, and he is kind of seen as like the man whore of the office, and he sleeps with all the girls and none of the men like him, and no one really likes him or knows much about him. So he has always wanted to be partner at the lawyer company that they are at, but they want him to have a more serious life. So when Laurie and Jamie get stuck in an elevator, they hatch up this plan to start fake dating so Dan can be jealous, he can get the job that he wants, and everyone can get off their back. So it's a fake dating story that was great, and I really enjoyed it, but it also really delved into like sexism in the workplace as well, and people's opinions of Jamie and of Laurie, and because of all the things surrounding in this book, because there is a lot of diversity rep in it as well, and it was just really, really good. Like I just really enjoyed this, and I highly recommend picking this up if you want a quick and easy adult contemporary, because it was just fun. And if you're like me and you love fake dating and that's all you need to hear, this is a book for you. So I've only actually got the 3 physical books to hold up for this wrap up, but like still I've got these off my shelf, which is pretty good. Audiobooks don't necessarily help, but they're still fun. I'm so proud of myself too, guys, because I didn't buy a single book in the month of May and I read 5. So my TBR is better off than it was, and I'm just very proud that I had the self-control not to buy anything, and I think I'm gonna keep it going just because I really don't need any other books at the moment, and I have so many books that there's not need for new books to be on my shelf. And also, guys, you know how I talked about the fact that I ordered the Starless Sea and then it didn't turn up for 2.5 months, so then I had to email Book Depository to be like, where's my book? And then I had to keep emailing them, and then finally they gave me a refund, and then you know what turned up yesterday? The Starless Sea by Erin Morgenstern 2.5 months later. So basically I just got this book for free, which is not what I wanted at all, because it was literally 2.5 months since I made the order, when they say like 15 business days. So clearly it was not coming, it was not here. Then yesterday this turned up and I'm like, what am I meant to do with this now? So I'm very excited to have this, but I'm also like, why? Because like I already got my refund and then it turned up. I'm very confused, because all the other books that I made in the same order turned up a month and a half ago. So you see my dilemma, but like I'm not gonna say anything because a free book's a free book. But it's just so funny that this turned up and I made my whole book haul video, but I wasn't planning on buying any new books, so I thought I'd mention it here. But anyway guys, thanks for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed my wrap up of not many books, but thanks for watching and I'll see you guys later. Bye!